If I didn't build a daily system, I'd be dead or in jail right now. And I'm not even saying that for shock value. I'm saying that because it's true. If I hadn't locked myself in a daily system for physical and for mental growth, there'd literally be only two realistic outcomes for me the way that I was living. That's either dead or locked up. Not metaphorically, not lost, literally. And before you dismiss that as extreme or not relatable, listen carefully, because the mechanism that almost destroyed me is the same one that's quietly draining you right now. It's the algorithm wouldn't have blessed you with this video today. The only difference is pace, not direction. Because I wasn't stupid, I was unstructured. I wasn't clueless, incapable. I wasn't lacking intelligence. I could think, I could reflect, I could talk about my problems, my strengths and my weaknesses in detail. Does that sound familiar? Because what I didn't have was structure. No daily non-negotiables, no physical outlet that drained chaos out of my body, no mental framework that stopped my thoughts spiraling when they got unchecked. So my mind ran the show, and an undisciplined mind doesn't rest. It looks for stimulation, for escape, for intensity. When there's no structure, the nervous system finds its own regulation. Sometimes that's alcohol, sometimes that's drugs, violence, crime, self-destruction, women, anything that kind of looks half functional on the surface. Chaos always fills the vacuum. And the lie that you're telling yourself right now is you think you're different because you're not, on the edge, on the brink of destruction, because you've got a job, you show up, you're not completely out of control. But here's the lie that you just keep on telling yourself, that I'm fine for now, I'm quite happy just bobbing along, doing what I'm doing, things are going to fall into place. That sentence is so much more dangerous than what you think, because fine for now turns into another year of just drifting, another year of breaking promises to yourself, another year of low grade frustration, and another year of avoiding your own potential. You're not imploding, you're eroding, slowly, quietly, kind of respectably, but that self-erosion will destroy you eventually. Because here's what actually pushes men over the edge eventually, because men don't usually snap because life suddenly gets hard. They snap because they've been tolerating misalignment for way too long. And I know that you know that feeling, that constant background noise of I should be doing more, I'm wasting my potential, I'm behind where I should or I could be. Why can't I just lock in and take my goals and my dreams seriously? And that tension doesn't just disappear on its own, it builds pressure. And pressure without an outlet always explodes or implodes. For me, without structure, it would have gone one of two ways: self-destruction or destruction of others. For you, it might look cleaner, more socially acceptable. But here's the mechanism, it's identical. And I'm going to break it down for you so you can actually start making these changes in your life and actually move forward. Because here's why smart thinking is not saving you. You think your awareness is protecting you, but it's not. It's just delaying the inevitable. You understand your patterns, you see your flaws, you know what's holding you back, you see why you do what you do, and yet nothing changes day after day, week after week, month after month, because awareness without structure is just a loop. Your intelligence has become a buffer between you and action. So you think, you reflect, you rationalise, and you call it growth, but your body stays stagnant. Your discipline just stays inconsistent, and your standards just stay negotiable. And every time you negotiate with yourself, that self-trust just erodes. That little bit more gets that little bit weaker. But here's the moment that I realised the truth and I could actually start making forward progress. Here's the honest part. I didn't change because I suddenly wanted a better life. I've always wanted a better life. I changed because I realised where my current trajectory was going to end up, dead or in jail. And no structure meant no containment, no regulation, no direction. Left to my own devices, my mind just always chased intensity. And that path only ends in one way. So I stopped pretending I could just figure it out in my own head. I needed systems that worked even when my mind was loud, when my mind was stressful, when my thoughts were chaotic. And here's exactly why physical training became a non-negotiable in my life. Because the gym just didn't save me because of aesthetics and made me look better. It saved me because it started to let me be able to regulate my own nervous system. Training gave my aggression somewhere else to go. It drained excess energy and it created consequence. Because when you train daily, your body gets calmer, your thoughts slow down, and your tolerance for bullshit increases. So because without physical output, mental discipline doesn't hold. This is why so many smart men stay stuck. They try to fix everything in their head while their body just remains untrained. And that never works long term. It can't work long term. That's why so many of the men that come to work with me, high performing men, it's just not clicking for them. And here's why mental systems matter just as much as the physical, because training alone wasn't enough. I needed journaling to expose my thinking patterns, gratitude to rewire a stress addicted brain, and subconscious reprogramming to rewrite my identity, reading to build an identity that I'd abandoned. None of that shit's sexy. It's boring on a day to day, but all of it's essential. Because without mental structure, physical discipline just turns into an ego of burnout. And these two move together, they interlock together. That's exactly why I push so hard on physical and mental mastery, becoming unfuckwithable. But here's the uncomfortable truth about you. You don't need another insight. You need some containment. Rules you don't negotiate with, standards that apply to you even on bad days, and a daily system that removes choice. Left alone, you will always choose comfort disguised as logic. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. The reason I built daily systems and the reason that I give them to all the men that I coach as clients, it's simple, so simple, because structure saved my life. And without it, I'd just follow all my impulses straight into a wall or an early grave or a prison cell. But here's exactly why you're still circling. You keep telling yourself that I'm going to start properly soon, next month, next January. I just need more clarity. Things will settle down soon and I'll be ready. But they won't. Life doesn't settle, it accelerates. And the longer you drift, the heavier the starting line becomes and the harder it is to get that progress going. And here's the part that you probably don't want to hear. If you keep living without structure, the outcome might not even be dramatic like a Hollywood blockbuster, but it will be permanent. And that's worse, the subtle, slow decay of your life. But here's the decision you're avoiding. You're deciding whether to level up. You're deciding whether to contain yourself or let yourself win. Whether to build a system, a daily system that holds you steady, or continue trusting a mind that's already proven to be unreliable. This isn't about motivation. It's about survival, just on a slower timeline. So if you don't add daily structure, something else will structure you. And usually it becomes something destructive that you lean on as a vice. And that's exactly why I built a framework instead of relying on motivation, because motivation comes and goes. That's why I've built the Become Unfuckwithable blueprint, not to inspire you, but to corner you in with daily non-negotiables that keep the momentum building. Simple daily actions, clear standards, no room for self-deception. Because once excuses disappear, your behaviour follows and you can start making momentum. And when behaviour changes, identity follows. And that's how I pull myself out of the chaos. That's how the men I work with stop circling. So click the link in the description, get your free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable blueprint, the system that changed my life and so many of my clients' lives. And this is exactly why one conversation matters, because some men don't need months of coaching. They need one honest hour. That's why I created the Power Hour Breakthrough Call in the first place. Not for motivation, not for feel good, pat you on your back. Clarity, pressure and decisions. One conversation that collapses years of avoidance into one powerful breakthrough. Because if I didn't build a daily system for physical and mental growth, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And it's not because I'm special, because I know what an uncontained man becomes, a self-destructive mess. So if this hit you, don't scroll past it and call it insight, because insight without action is just another way to delay. To build structure. So it's time to build structure, contain yourself, stop trusting a mind that keeps on negotiating, because the path you're on doesn't end where you think it does, and deep down you already know that. That's why you clicked on this video. So if you want the framework, the Become Unfuckwithable blueprint, comment the word blueprint and I'll send it through, or click the link in the description. And if you want a conversation that forces clarity, book a Power Hour Breakthrough Call. But don't keep pretending that time will fix what only structure can, because that lie is the most dangerous one a man can believe. So I'll see you in the next video. But like I always say, don't bother clicking on the next video if you're not going to download the Become Unfuckwithable blueprint, the free system that changed my life and so many of the men that I've worked with live. I'll see you in the next video. Let's fucking go.